Hi everyone, Christine Harrington here, the Savvy Sales Lady.
And I'm Simon White, a sales trainer and sales coach from the UK. This is the third video in a series of 3 on communication. Today's video is around being persistent and not a pest.
Keep watching. How you be persistent without being a pest is you let the buyer know what to expect.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some fantastic email tips there. The one thing that I also do, you're talking about the subject line. If I get referred to somebody, I'll always put in the subject line the name of the person who referred me, and that normally gets a response. Whoever that is, even if they're on the same level of them, but especially if they're more senior than the person, I will always put their name in. And if I don't get a response to an email, then after a few days, I may send exactly the same email again. Not did you see my email, nothing like that, but actually literally resend exactly the same email again, because people get so many emails, they can easily miss them. They might not have seen the first one. It's amazing how many people on the second email I send, just sending it again, will respond to me.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a good tip too, and I've done that as well. One of the things that I always try to do, Simon, on emails is let the buyer know what the next step is.
Yes.
Okay. So on that initial email, I said I'd be calling Friday at 2 p.m. Yeah. So Friday rolls around, I send the reminder email to Bob, and then I would follow up with a call that afternoon. If I got his voicemail, I would leave a message. I'd be prepared with a message to leave, and then I would follow up immediately, leaving the same message in a voicemail, and I would say, "Hi, Bob. I received your voicemail. It appears you're busy. I'll give you a call on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Hopefully you'll be available to take my call. In case you can talk, my phone number is," and then I would leave my phone number twice. Yes. Now I would send the exact same message in an email to him right after I leave that voice message. Of course, I'm not going to leave my cell phone number twice, but I would make sure that I would leave my cell phone number in the body of the email. Don't assume they're going to look down at your signature line. Make it as easy as possible for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have a direct line, I always put, my direct line is. And even in my company, if it's just me, there is the phone number is the direct line. It's the not, but I always refer to it as a direct line, because it's like, come to me directly. You don't have to talk to anybody else. It's me directly, and that's powerful in itself as well.
And so now I know everybody's thinking, Simon, okay, how many times do you repeat that whole scenario? How many times do you repeat it? It depends. It honestly does depend. But I'll give you, a guideline to go by, okay? I would repeat that cadence maybe 2 or 3 times a week for 2 or 3 weeks, okay? And if you still haven't reached them, then you're going to do a final voice message with a final email. Now, why is this important? Because most salespeople just quit calling and quit emailing. And it may be, it just wasn't a good time for the buyer. It may not mean that he's not interested or she's not interested. It may have been that it's just not a good time. So I send a final voice message, then turn around, send the final email. And again, I'm saying, "Hi, Bob. I received your voice message. Again, it does appear like you're really busy this time of year. This will be the final time that I contact you. And I'll wait maybe another 6 months before I reach out again. However, if you've been meaning to call me or email me and you've just been too busy, here's how to reach me. Now, the final email doesn't work every single time you use it, but I will tell you that I continue to use this to this day, so do my clients, and it does work some of the time. I had a man, Simon, that actually called me in the airplane. They were just boarding. He sat down, he heard a ding, got my voice message. He called me immediately and said, Christine, thank you for all of your follow-up. You're right. This has just been a crazy time for me. If you call me on Sunday at 7 a.m., I'll take your call. I called him on Sunday at 7 a.m. So you just don't know. And I've had that happen quite a few times where people have just said, you're right. I'm so sorry. I've been meaning to get back to you. I haven't. And that's how you're persistent without being a pest.
Yeah. One thing that I also throw in, if I really am struggling to get hold of somebody, whether that's via the phone or via email, I will just have a bit of a sense check and then try and speak to one of their colleagues just to double check that I am really hunting down the right person. Because it has happened in the past where, for myself, we've all made these mistakes. I've tried somebody and I've tried them and tried them and tried them and tried them, and eventually I get hold of them and they go, oh no, I'm not the right person, you need to go and speak to Fred. So yeah, before I invest too much time, I will just speak to a colleague or a PA or something and just say, I'm struggling to get hold of Fred. Is there a good time of day to get hold of them? Is there a better day of the week? What is the best way of doing it? I'll see if I can get their mobile phone number off them. And really just confirm I am actually pursuing the right person, because I don't know if it's the same in the US, but job titles.
Yes, actually, right. No, I totally agree with you. Same thing here in the USA, because in the banking world in the United States, everybody's a VP.
Yeah, but not all VPs are the same, are they? That's the thing. In the last company I was in, my job title was business development director. So someone could pursue me, and as soon as they got hold of me, I could say, actually, it's not me, it's one of the other 3 business development directors or whatever. So yeah, and you think, well, I'll go on LinkedIn and I'll check that, but not everybody uses LinkedIn to the same degree that we do. They don't have a full profile necessarily. Their job title still might be really vague or inflated, which is the other issue.
Right.
The amount of people I've met who are, they call themselves a sales director, and they have no team. It's just them. So, or the
Director of no one.
or the chief executive of a company with 5 people and stuff like that. So it's a lot of inflated job titles in the UK as well. So, yeah.
Do you have anything you'd like to add to be persistent and not a pest? Because I know you and I kind of feel the same way. It's our job to follow up. It's not the buyer's job to, try to hunt us down to get their questions answered.
Yeah, so I think it depends a little bit on at what stage in the process you're at. So if it's a cold approach and you've not spoken to them before, and you phone them up and you leave them a voicemail and you send the emails and you go through the kind of process you've outlined, that's one way. But also you might feel like you're a pest if you have actually spoken to them, they've asked you for some more information, or you've agreed to send them a proposal, and now you're following up on the proposal and you're struggling to get hold of them, and now you're feeling like a pest. So I think it depends on which situation you're in. If it's the latter situation, so you have spoken to the prospect, I think it's important to just ask yourself, have you really qualified them? Are they really genuinely interested? And do they have a business case for what you are selling? Or are they just a little bit curious? And are they just too polite to say no? So sometimes salespeople might chase somebody and chase them and chase them and chase them. but that person they're chasing has no intention of ever buying from them. So I think we need to make sure is, have we actually qualified them? The other part of that is, if you have spoken to somebody and you are sending a proposal or sending them some further information, agree when you are next going to speak. You agree, and put it in the diary, because the last thing you want to do to somebody is send them a proposal, think, I'll leave that a couple of days or a week, then phone them. You don't know, they might be out. Then you phone them again. Then you phone them again. Then you phone them again. You are being you feel like you're being a pest because you haven't done your job properly. And you haven't told them what's going to happen next, and you haven't secured that as a meeting in the diary. So I think that's a mistake that we can make. So, not qualifying or making sure we have qualified properly, and telling the prospect what is going to happen next. And also a bit of it comes down to mindset. Is we are there to help the prospect solve a problem. We're not, we don't want to think of ourselves as that slimy salesperson, because we're not. We're sales professionals. We're there to help them solve a problem. So we shouldn't see ourselves as a pest anyway. And therefore, it's important just to get that frequency of the calls, etc. Are we going to leave the voicemail every time? Are we going to send lots of emails? Are we going to send them a text, etc.?
Well, Simon, you made one good point that I want to expand on a little bit, and that is when you're in control of the sales process and the sales conversation, you always want to make sure whether it's going to the next step or whether you're sending a proposal to the client, that you agree to the next step. So before sending the proposal, you'll have a conversation anyhow with the prospect when he's asking about the proposal, and you can say that I'll send it on Monday, and then let's agree on a time that we can speak on Wednesday to answer any questions that may surface. What would be best for you? And that way, you're not sitting there waiting for them to call you back. You're not chasing them. When you agree on what the next steps are and what the follow-up is going to be and the next follow-up steps.
Yeah, absolutely. And you use the word there, let's agree a time. It's so powerful, isn't it? We can go back to our powerful questions there. Yeah, absolutely.
I purposely did that.
Yeah. But follow-up is, then you've got the other kind of follow-up as well. The person who says, now's not the right time. Can you give me a call in 3 months' time or a month's time? And if you're not careful, the conversation doesn't advance. It's just a continuation of the same thing, and it drags on for a long time. But with those kind of people, it's important to go there with some added value. Maybe there's an article you're sharing with them, or maybe it's a case study that's relevant to them. So make it about them. Those follow-ups need to be about them. Yeah.
Good point. All right. Anything else?
No, that's all from me on that subject.
Just remember, everyone, sales is a journey. It's not a quick trip around the block. Simon and I will see you on the next coaching video. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.